What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a review for you. We're going to be looking at the Kansept Colibri. Let's get into it. So what we're going to be doing today is some profile comparisons. We'll check the weight on the Colibri, and then we'll jump into my thoughts and impressions. So to kick it off, I thought we would take a look at the Kangwoo Tao, or in this case, the S Tao, and the Wii Vision R. So you can see this is definitely a longer knife, a very unique design, which I thought we were getting a little bit there by taking a look at the Wii Vision R. But there's nothing that I really have in my inventory that compares as far as length and slenderness. So this is definitely a larger knife overall, but it's still pretty comparable in thickness. So you don't have a lot of thickness going on with that knife. A little bit chunkier than the S-Tau, and it is going to definitely be thicker than the Vision R, which has the flat scales, but you have the contoured scales on the Colibri. So very different for sure. I also brought those two out here because they're very comparable in price. This is a $200 pocket knife. You're getting S35 VN blade steel and titanium with coated hardware and an anodized titanium pocket clip. Now, the knife does have a little bit of weight to it. I don't recall what it is, but it definitely feels heavy for a pocket knife, but for the size, it's really quite impressive because it's under 5 ounces. The Shaman with the G10 scales is over. So titanium hollowed out with a big S35VN blade. You got steel coated hardware and anodized titanium pocket clip on this. Really very impressive weight for the size. All right, so we have a really beautifully done, I mean, the finish on here is really good. Like, this feels like Kansept starting to flex a little bit. It is really well done. There's no hot spots anywhere, so to speak of. So when you're holding this in hand, it actually ergonomically feels very nice in hand. You do have a lot sticking out of the back, even when you consider where the palm, which goes a little bit further out than the fingers, it sticks out just a tiny bit. You do have a rather thick blade stock for as thin of a knife as it is, and your flat grind doesn't go all the way up. They did bring it down to a nice edge, but the edge termination here, you're going to get a smile, the first 2 or 3 sharpenings on here, and it's also going to start to thicken up pretty well. So this one, to me, more of a statement piece of a pocket knife than it is something that you want to pick up if you really want something that has fidget factor and sliciness built into it. One thing that I did notice ergonomically, though, is that pocket clip, it is really long and it does have a little bit of a point on it. So I do feel that a little bit. Factory edge is really well done. I did test this early on. Really nice factory edge. Kevin didn't seem to do too much cutting with it, or if he did, the S35N's edge retention is really shining through here. So really good edge on here. No complaints whatsoever with the edge from Kansept. They seem to do a good job. S35N's a hard steel to kind of mess up with the heat treat, so I imagine that edge is going to last a while and it's not going to chip. S35N is going to have good corrosive resistance to it. Access to the lock bar is pretty good, a little tight, but the strength on the lock bar for as long as the relief cut piece is pretty impressive. It is not a lightweight lock bar. You do have to really dig in there to disengage it. The tension on here with the flipper tab is good. My complaint is there's no jimping on that flipper tab. So as you see, I kind of started to slide off. And what I have to do to remind myself is I kind of just start like above it, touching the top of the actual frame or the scales, and then pushing down into the knife and getting that light switch. It is satisfying, but I forget every once in a while, and like right there, I just did it twice in a row, slipping off because there is no jimping. I think a little bit of jimping and flattening it out a little bit, sort of like what you see here. There's jimping on here that's really aggressive. and it's done really well. I think that little bit of jimping just would be a huge improvement here. And then the flipper tab for me with the larger hands is not an issue. I'm back far enough. I was trying to go slow, sorry. I'm back far enough to where I'm not hitting it, but I noticed in Kevin's review, because he has slightly smaller hands, fingers, or hand has a smaller hand, he has to get up a little bit closer. So he's in the position where he kind of feels like he has to be up close to it to get it, and then you do kind of feel the flipper tab rolling over your finger when you hit it. But for me, it's in a good spot. No issues with the larger hands. So depending on where you fall, I guess that's what you want to know. Lockup is good on here. You're coming in at a 20% lockup, and it is cool. It's a very cool design, and the finish is really well done. I love this pattern. It's so cool. I like the sunbursts, or whatever you want to call it, type of design. It's very subtle and very grippy, but it doesn't affect it going in and out of the pocket. The pocket clip works really well. I love the fact that it's not just some plain Jane straight pocket clip. It has plenty of spring to go in and out. It has plenty of clearance for it to go all the way to the top. And again, they did a good job for the size of this knife for the weight. The only thing I kind of I wish the blade stock was a little bit thinner. I wish it was a little bit of a taller flat grind, meaning they could have stopped where it was, but with a thinner stock, it would have been thinner throughout, and it wouldn't have thickened up as quickly. And then I think your plunge grind needs to come back a little bit, or you need to come in with a triangle style sharpening choil, and I think that really would have fixed it here. Really cool, but for me, $200, I would probably get the Migron Kyrix if you want something cheap footy. Or I would go towards the S-Towel because you're getting Vanek super clean. Yes, it is $100 more, but the S-Towel and the towel in M390, I believe, is $199, or for like $220. I think the Vision R and 20CV with the super lock on here is very interesting, even though I've gone on record in saying that the revisions that they've done to the Vision FG on Civivi's version with the jimped larger super lock and the thumb studs is better, but it's still a really cool knife. And that's what I'm thinking, that you might be looking at this Colibri or however you say it, and thinking, well, it is very cool looking, but I could say the same about both of these knives that are on the table. Also, I probably should have grabbed it, and probably will, for like $250-ish. If you want a cool factor knife that actually is a little bit more slicey and actually pretty usable considering for an EDC, you do have the React XOM, and then you have the Padre, which I really like. That is very unique looking as well. You're getting Vanek super clean, $299. So again, it's $100 more, but you're getting a very well done knife and a very, very good super steel. The price on the Colibri, definitely without a doubt, is hard to beat. That is a really good price for what you're getting with the S35N and the titanium. But you let me know what you think about this one down in the comments below. Is it for you? Do you like it? Do you like things about it? Tell me about it down in the comments. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, comments, and is subscribed. I appreciate the love and support and helping this channel. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.